Expensive road bike wheels like these here from Scope have to work harder than ever before to justify their high prices. We are living in an era of ever more affordable carbon wheels, and these do go some way to justifying that high price. They have risen in popularity over the last 12 months and now the choice of the Ineos Grenadier Pro team, and offer, as they do, class-leading Aero Windtunnel performance, super low weight, distinctive looks, and as I found over the last 6 months of testing them, really decent ride quality. But do they do enough to justify that high price? Well, by the end of today's review, we'll find out. So let's dive in and have a closer look. The Scope range includes quite a few options depending on your preference. These are the 4A, so a 45mm deep rim with 25mm internal rim width with a hooked rim, so no hookless fears here. Carbon blade spokes and very distinctive hubs, which we'll talk about in a moment. These are what the company calls the all-road version with 25mm internal rim width, so perfect for wide tyres. These are 28/30s front and rear. They do a narrower non-all-road version with 23mm internal width if you're running narrow tyres like 25 to 28. If you want to save a bit of weight as well, but I think for most people, the all-road is the one to go for. And the all-road tag is a bit of a misleading name these days. I think most road wheels now are 25 and upwards in terms of that internal rim width. And I personally prefer a 45 to 50mm deep rim as a really good sort of all-round fit and forget wheel set. Great for road racing, sporties, fast on the flats, light enough on the climbs, and go deeper, you get more aero, yes, but higher weight and that crosswind instability. So 45 to 50 is a real sweet spot for me. And these are super lightweight as well. 1200 grams for a 45mm deep rim is very impressive and lighter than similar offerings from Hunt, Zip and Envy. So in that balance of aero and weight is an area where the Scope score very highly and start going some way to justify that big price tag. And then the other two details that really stand these wheels apart from their rivals is both the design on the rims and the hubs. The wheels stand out due to a funky rim design, which apparently has been inspired by fish scales. Yes, that's right, fish scales, and claimed to reduce the aerodynamic drag by generating velocity streaks which travel at different speeds over the rim surface and stabilise the airflow, and therefore reduce the drag. And probably very easy to dismiss as a gimmick, but is it? In a recent Cycling News wind tunnel test, I'll link to their website down below, behind a paywall unfortunately, the 65mm version of these, the deeper section wheels, came out top in their testing. So very impressive, and shows, I guess, this fish scale texture does actually work and it's not a gimmick, and partly show why the wheels have become so popular and so hot right now, and really elevated the Dutch brand from obscurity, I guess, for the last 10 years to one of the most high profile in demand wheel brands right now, and being used by Ineos Grenadier in the pro peloton this year. I can't from that data also assume these are going to be top of the sort of 45mm depth sort of pack either, but it's safe to assume that if the deep section wheels are that good, these should be nearly as good in terms of how they compare to Hunts and Zips and other wheels of a similar depth. Rims aside, the other major tech highlight are the hubs. They are 3D printed, which as far as I know is a world first for cycling wheels. But why use 3D printing? Well, it's weight. The hubs weigh a claimed 220 grams for the pair, which is very impressive, and for context, Envy's lightweight Pro hubs are over 330 grams for the pair. And they certainly look distinctive, although personally I'm not a massive fan of the coarse surface texture, and I think the flange design lacks some of the sharper, cleaner styling you see on other modern hubs. And while there were issues with the first generation of these 3D printed hubs with corrosion and some cracking as well, these have presented no issues thanks to the update to the finish of the hub construction. And I've not babied the wheels at all. I've ridden them through the rain, horrible conditions here in the Cotswolds in the winter. I've jet washed the bike and the hubs, and they look the same the day they arrived. No visible signs of any issues to worry about so far. So in 6 months of testing, I feel pretty confident about the reliability and durability of the hub shells, the spokes and the rims so far. Other details include carbon light spokes, 18 in the front and 24 in the rear, with hidden nipples similar to Envy's approach. There's also a lightweight diamond ratchet SL3 hub made from titanium, finished with diamond-like carbon coating alongside SKF bearings in the standard wheels I have here, and there's a ceramic bearing option if you want it for an extra £500. So what are they like to ride then? I've been testing them for the last 6 months. They arrived in January, so I've done a good 6 months of testing, both here in the UK through the winter, rain and muddy conditions, and also now it's summer, and also a trip to Calpe in southern Spain for a training camp with my mates. So been testing them in lots of different scenarios and on different bikes as well, from the Rose Shave here, my Colnago C68, and a FiftyOne Sika with both Shimano and SRAM group sets, because given the popularity of the wheels and how much attention they are getting, I wanted to do a real long-term test. And I know 6 months isn't super long, but it's longer than the 2 or 4 weeks that some magazines might test a set of wheels for. So a decent amount of time on the wheels, hopefully enough to highlight any durability concerns or reliability issues around some features on these wheels. And in short, I've had no issues with the wheels at all. Installation of tyres, tubeless, is pain-free, no faffing with tubeless inflator tricks or pumps. And when it comes to ride quality, they score very highly indeed, both in isolation and against main rivals like Hunt, Zip, Envy, Black Ink, and a few others. Number 6 I'm currently testing as well. They had that speed on the flat roads, but they also have that low weight that when you're in the mountains or you're riding up steep Cotswolds climbs, they have the low weight to give you that amazing climbing grace you want when you are battling the gradients, and don't have that usual weight penalty you get with a deep section wheel set. So yeah, impressively fast and aero. And I have a wheel set that's as light as or lighter than some old climbing wheels from just 5 years ago, like an MV 2.3 or a Zip 202, but with the aero performance of a 45mm deep profile and wide too for wide tyres. It's just superb and shows how far the wheels have evolved in just the last handful of years alone, really pushing that combination of aero and weight and width into a really good place for a modern bike like this. And the ride quality is smooth as well. I generally dislike carbon spokes because as a lighter rider I find the ride quality usually quite firm and quite harsh. These aren't too bad, definitely firmer than the MVs, which have steel spokes and definitely offer a smooth ride. And while a 30mm wide tyre does dissipate a lot of the vibrations from the road surface, doing back-to-back testing with the MVs and these are definitely stiffer and more feedback, and the MVs a bit smoother, maybe a bit softer. These do give that slightly livelier, responsive, crisper ride quality if you want that, if you're racing, a bit sharper than the MVs. So yeah, small differences, but at this price point we are finding small differences to really separate them. After living with the wheels for the last 6 months, here's some likes and dislikes I've discovered. They're very lightweight. 1200 grams for such an aero wheel set is phenomenal. You get a hooked rim if you don't like hookless, and there's a lifetime warranty and a lifetime crash replacement policy. And you can try them for free for 30 days with a free trial, which is pretty amazing as well. On the downside, they're very noisy. Too noisy for me, but quite handy when you're approaching walkers and dog walkers, that you can alert them to your presence without needing a bicycle bell. But there is apparently a sound silencing kit you can buy for them. Other downsides include perhaps the internal nipple, so not quite so easy to maintain or true a wheel if you need to. There is the question mark around the durability of the 3D printed hubs, and that surface texture being rougher than a forged hub. And of course the other downside is the high price. These are jolly expensive wheels, £3,500 and now £500 if you want a ceramic bearing upgrade. So yes, not cheap wheels, not the most expensive I've ever seen, but definitely some of the most expensive you can buy right now. Okay, time for my verdict on the Scope Artech 4A wheels. Yes, they are exceedingly expensive. They're not the most expensive wheels in the world. There are other wheels that cost the same sort of money. So if you are in that lucky position to be spending this sort of money on a set of wheels in this price range, these do offer a very compelling reason to choose them over other brands. And while my 6 months of testing have thrown up no durability or reliability issues around the hubs, I know those early issues prominent on the internet and YouTube will be a red flag for some people, a cause for concern for some people, but that lifetime warranty might go some way to softening those fears a little bit. So yes, a high performance wheel set that goes some way to justify that high performance price tag. But of course, you don't need me to point out the obvious fact there are many cheaper wheel sets you can buy that offer similar performance. And let me know what wheels you're currently running by dropping a comment down below. And if you want to find out more about Scope wheels, I'll put a link to their website down below. Of course, as a reminder, not sponsored by Scope at all. These reviews are independent and impartial, and your support by subscribing to the channel, hitting that button just there, allows me to make reviews like these and not take any money from the bike companies. So that is all for today, my review on the Scope wheels. Let me know what you think by dropping a comment down below, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you so much for watching.